failing, it's a technical term. So you need, generally I'm asking why any application require load balancer. No issue, bro. If you not get it, okay. Just I'm
Mhm.
asked to understand the ability.
Like I mean, like if an application, like a application has like 1,000 users, like
Hmm.
if 1,000 users wants to access the application at at a point of time, like with only one server, we will be having a problem with that, right?
Yeah. That means, like, for example, due to high availability, bro, the application is need to have a high availability. So for example, suppose some application is there, we need to access like American user, Australia user, Indian user, see it example. Okay, so these three locations, they are accessing the same application, so some traffic should be routed, then only the application has to be reachability will be there. So users can't receive any failure happened in their end. Okay, so for that availability only, the load balancer, like make is in between the user and the application, it plays as an virtual IP. So whoever accessing that IP, that load balancer will route the request to the particular runtime servers for that application, so that the runtime servers means same application replica copies in the all nodes. So for example, some application also have 3 runtime nodes, 5 runtime nodes, like that. So high availability one. So simple as that. Reverse proxy also acting from application end. So you can't straight away access that application. In between that proxy will be there, you need to access that proxy. It in between, it will route the traffic to that particular application server. So that is what I mentioned. So in public end, they don't know where the server got hosted, where that application got hosted. They only know the proxy address of that application. That's it. Okay, so that is what the ping axis come into picture. So here ping axis and also, okay, bro. So ping axis, this is what the ping axis role. As I mentioned, this is a policy server only. It's an identity enabled access management product. Okay, so you can make it an web access management. It's protect the web application and API. So whoever, it's a more security, and then it won't tell you where the server got hosted or where the APIs got restricted. So it's a kind of protecting APIs and security policies and access controls. So here for ping access, if you take an example, um, for ping access, it also uses PingFederate only for the authentication. Here, if you take in this example, I think it's some issue with the ping. Okay, I'll tell you. Ping access, it also uses PingFederate and ping access. Hello, very noise hearing, bro. Hello.
I'll mute myself.
Okay, okay. So ping access, it's as I told you, ping access is a web access management application. So from user, whoever accessing from laptop or mobile phone, any application, it will get protected using the ping access, and you can also protect APIs, web applications, any gateway application. So here in the ping access, there is two model applications will be there, bro. Okay, one is gateway model and another one is agent model. Okay, so gateway model and agent model. So gateway model only, we mostly configure most of the application in gateway model only, like 60 like mostly 98, more than 80% I can say gateway model only. Agent model we don't that much now applications are using. So gateway model means normal our web application now, how now working, like you told, like SAML protocol or what. So that and all, like kind of a gateway model only. So whichever accessing from browser, anything, if you take an example, is called as gateway model. Agent model, I as well not worked on agent model much, because agent model means the development side, code development and maintaining the code, everything will be little complex. For that only, mostly whichever existing agent model also, they are converting into gateway model in the in recent scenarios and all. So we can make it an example like that. Okay, so now we can see detailedly on how gateway model and agent model will we work on that things and all. So for just I will keep in such a way that now you have like two model, gateway model and agent model. Okay, and for ping access, I would want to say one thing. Ping access will use PingFederate only for authentication. It won't use any other tool. We can integrate identity manager, like for example, same thing, you integrate in PingFederate. If you take an example, you integrate data store, right, for authentication purpose. Okay, like that, uh, like that we can integrate Like that we can integrate PingFederate with ping access for authentication. So for example, user is coming from browser na, it will first they will hit the ping access URL. Okay, from ping access it will route the authentication to the PingFederate only. So PingFederate, the form adapter like that things and all will come. So once you enter username and password na, it will authenticate and authorize you to ping access, and you can allow inside the application. So how these technical terms and all we can see in the later cases, like how we configure PingFederate with ping access, how it both work token, like after authentication what token it will be sent from PingFederate to ping access, using the token how ping access utilizing it and accessing this application. So that is later we can see it out to step by step later classes. So for now you understand baseline, right, like what is ping access and uh, uh, kind of what authentication it is using. So like that things if you get through now it will be well good, so that next sessions we can more things. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Bro, is there any real-time explanation for this flow? Real-time example for this flow, particular flow you made.
Yeah, yeah, I can see. Yeah, yeah, we can that one we can need to create connection and then only you can see it, bro. Real time ping access means you can take an example. Gmail itself, a real time example only, bro. Suppose you are logging into, actually my laptop had some issues today. I will recover it. Okay.
Yeah,
Real time example now I tell you. Okay, just if you go to google.com, right, you accessing google.com and authenticating. So then new tab you are accessing Gmail. So for example, if I'm accessing Gmail, okay, now I am not logged in. Suppose for example if I logged in google.com, here if I signed in, if I signed in google.com means if I click on Google Gmail now it will straight away go to Gmail. But Google, Gmail, YouTube are in separate things only. We all know it's all product of Google, but it's a separate product, right, in between them. Okay, so how you are authenticating with Google and it is accessing on the Gmail. So it's separately domain itself separate, right? It will comes Google is www.google.com, but the Gmail it comes under like www.gmail something like that. It's totally different things. Like for example, if you take youtube.com, it means Gmail, and then you can access YouTube, right? So that proxy backend they have been inbuilt redirection and so on will be there. So that is called as real time. So like PingFederate, we can't see real time ping access. Ping access, it's kind of we itself we create connection, then only we can able to see real time. So simple as real time means you can take this example. You authenticating in Google and you can access YouTube. So it's totally different sites, but it's authenticating. It's kind of a proxy, because using Google using as an IP, you are accessing YouTube backend. So that's we can say. And then I think many applications are like that only, mostly using, but the flow I can't able to show you like PingFederate. We can see in our personal ping access. If you create now we can see that one. Like for example, we develop on Tomcat server. Okay, we install on Tomcat server, and then we can proxy the Tomcat server, and then if we hit our environment ping access now, it will reach to Tomcat server. So likewise we can test, no issue that on that. Okay. Bro, able to hear me? Hello.
yeah, bro, I can hear you. I'm muting myself because you are hearing a echo from my side.
Okay, bro. I think today, okay, no issue. We can have a session today evening also. Fine, right? Like 8 p.m. something like that. For in
Yeah,
my time, your time, I
sure,
think morning.
sure, bro, no issues. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
8
okay. I can.
p.m.
Okay.
means I think it will be